go ahead and start this conversation. So I have grown up in church most of my life. I've been taught the word. I know the biblical principles. I understand church. I started off as Baptist the first few years of my life, and then with the Church of God in Christ. So I know church. I understand what goes on in church from a member perspective and also from a leadership role. So I know church. I do. And I also understand how a person can have that background and still go in the opposite direction. Now, I'm just going to tell you my testimony. From my experience, I felt like, just growing up, that I had to prove that I understood what goes on in church. And I wasn't a shelter kid. Now, it wasn't always like that. I think when I had got to that point of middle school and when you really start to be around just those type of peers that are already doing crazy stuff. They were already, sleeping around, doing drugs, doing all types of crazy things. And when you're in the midst of that, sometimes you don't really have the right, I would say, the right skills or the right tools to know how to navigate that. Now, I'm not saying that if you've been raised in a church that you just don't know anything, but I also know that being raised in a church, it gives you that protection, but also you have to understand that the principles that are being taught actually can help you navigate this world. Like, you don't want to just take information just to know it, but you also have to use it. So back then, just during my middle school, high school years, I felt like that being a church girl was a hindrance to me. Like, I feel like that me growing up in church, that I didn't have like the coolness I guess everybody else had. Like, I was a shelter person. I, didn't get to go to everything that everybody else was going to. I didn't get to do everything everybody else was doing to until I got my sense, until I start to come to the knowledge really of who God was. Now, yes, I was being taught, the biblical principles. I was being taught wholeness. But until you actually start to live that out, that's when your eyes really start to open. And when I look back now, just at the things I was trying to do, I knew that I was trying to prove some things. I knew that I was not, fitting into what I thought was really cool back then. I knew that I was not that girl that was supposed to be the person just out there and just trying to be a part of this and be a part of that, knowing that it's going to end, pretty bad for me. So I can understand how you get there, but I also want to talk about how you get out from that. And so that'll be part two.